Hey everyone, today we're diving into a mysterious airplane incident. Sounds exciting, right? So, Matthew's not happy because his wife hinted the assist systems might have issues. Facing Matthew's doubts, his wife responded like a debate champion. If there were issues, the security checks wouldn't let it slide. Do you think I could handle that? The more Matthew thought about it, the more suspicious he became. So he called the pilot, but oddly enough, the pilot didn't seem interested in picking up. After experiencing rejection from the other party, Matthew decided to reach out to his friend Azar to see if he could provide any useful information. He then took out the video footage and inquired of Azar how he ultimately ended up meeting Pollock. Azar explained that Pollock had meddled in his work, so he had to meet up to sort things out. But now Pollock vanished. Azar lacked proof for his words. Matthew couldn't believe him. Matthew knew the truth wasn't a terrorist attack. He also knew there were issues with the plane, but just couldn't find a clue. When he stepped outside, Matthew even started hearing imaginary sounds. He could only calm down by putting on headphones. When he got home and saw the victims' families mourning on the news, Matthew felt a mix of emotions. Matthew felt maybe it was time to take a gamble. He secretly checked his wife's messages and found out Azar asked her out for dinner. This made him feel uneasy, as if someone had jabbed him in the heart. Matthew began to suspect that his wife might be hiding something, possibly for a better-paying job. Late at night, Matthew quietly got up and checked his wife's computer, ultimately deciding to download her confidential files. The next day, he handed those files to his boss so they could request a backup device from the manufacturer. Unfortunately, this action caused trouble for his wife, as the old guy bluntly told him. His wife was essentially tossed aside, and then the higher-ups summoned him or tried issuing a gag order. Due to the leak of the sensitive files, Inomi was forced to resign, even though he had nothing to do with the company. While he passively accepted his fate, he began to wonder who really messed up. When he got home and saw his wife's worried expression, Matthew knew something was off, leading to a heated argument. The truth was, Matthew wasn't sure if his wife knew anything. He just wanted to uncover the truth. He had never anticipated that it would result in such devastating consequences. In this state of mind, he could only pray that this document would lead to the real issues, otherwise he would be in deep trouble. But no matter what directives were issued in the existing program, as long as the plane accelerated, the autopilot would autocorrect. This result was hard for Matthew to accept. Could it be that he was the one with the issues? This obsession relentlessly haunted him, prompting him to undertake test after test repeatedly. Yet in the end, he was astonished to find that the system had absolutely no issues whatsoever. Matthew went to his sister's house, realizing his career was in shambles, stealing files but unable to find any truth. While playing with his nephew's drone, a twist of fate occurred, as he heard a signal interference sound just like the one from the black box. He noticed someone had hacked into his nephew's drone and completely took over the controls. Having this thought, he hurried back to listen to the black box recording again, discovering that the pilot had removed his headset due to signal interference. This realization felt like Matthew had finally figured out the whole incident. The next day, he confidently headed to Azar's company. The airplane assist system actually had no issues and met safety standards. Matthew's wife was innocent. The problem lay within the airplane's cybersecurity system, which was under Azar's company's purview. The aircraft that encountered the crash didn't suffer from a malfunctioning assist system. Rather, it was the victim of a malicious hack. Azar had known where the problem lay from the start, which is why he had Pollock alter the black box recording. But right after the modifications, Pollock was silenced. Azar pretended to remain calm in the face of Matthew's theory, though inside he started sweating bullets. With such a huge conspiracy, Matthew's words learned clearly wouldn't be enough to convince anyone. Once he was home, Matthew feverishly read through past incidents from Azar's company in an attempt to find clues. He suddenly discovered that Azar had let go of an employee a few months ago who looked surprisingly familiar. According to Matthew's theory, the bald man who got fired had hacked the safety network on the plane to prove Azar's system was flawed. The moment he connected the fiber, current rushed into the pilot's headset, matching the black box recording. After making these discoveries, Matthew found his wife, confessing his mistakes and recklessness, but now he needed her help. However, Inomi didn't want to hear a word from him, nor did she want to see him at all. In her eyes, Matthew was just a madman who lost his mind. She couldn't fathom why he was so obsessed. Moreover, given Matthew's recent outrageous behaviors, his superiors began to feel the pressure because most of the planes were from Adrian. On one hand, Azar and the old fox were applying external pressure. The leadership was clueless about how to protect Matthew. As Matthew prepared to pack up and leave, a recording suddenly popped up on his computer. The recording was dated October 11th at 5:12 a.m., right before Pollock disappeared. When he opened the audio, it turned out to be the previously recorded helicopter accident footage. The only difference was a long segment of static at the end.